So we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a 90-minute thing and you're going to achieve great things. We're going to talk about safety. First, it's very important. We're then going to talk about the physics of axe throwing, kind of the mechanics behind it, axe behavior, how we're going to get this into the wood. Then we'll all get up, start working on our technique. Our goal is to get you guys landing at a 45-degree angle. Once we're all throwing and we're happy and we're landing at a 45-degree angle and you've got some rhymes in your head that make no sense, but we'll get there later. We'll then do a game called the Gauntlet. You're going to go to the end, first to the end wins. Then once we have a winner and make a lot of noise and give out some prizes, we'll then go into the game of axe throwing, which we do on our Monday Night League. So I'll teach you how to score, how to kind of psych out your opponent, how to get up on our scoreboards, all the fun things. Cool. Axe safety. This is an S-Wing camper axe. We're all going to throw these today. They are just under a kilo, believe it or not. They have a sharp bit. Don't touch that. It's got a heavy bit. You don't really need to touch that. It's got a handle. We have hands. If I ask you to holster your axe, make a trekkie, symbol, swap, drop, keep it by your hip. If you're handing it to anyone, just handle first, just like scissors, just like kindergarten. Avoid the temptation to do this. In front of our lanes here, we've got a red area. This is called the red zone. This is for throwers only. So when you're throwing, you're in the red zone, you're safe. When you're going into your lane, use the quickest route that you can to get into the red zone and use the quickest route you can to get out of the red zone. Our lanes are 100% safe, they're 100% self-contained, which is cool. It means you can throw as much as you want, grab your axe as much as you want. You don't really have to worry about what's happening either side of it. The fences have holes in them, so avoid any temptation to touch the fence when you're picking your axe up. Just don't lean up against the fence because as blades can't go through, they can still cause a bit of damage if you have a wild axe. The axe is going to land, you're going to wiggle it up and down and raise it to the root. Axe throwing is a really lazy sport. So if you let the axe do everything, you're golden. This is called the toe. It's the sharpest point of the blade. We're going to try and get all that power and force to drive as far into the wood as we can. That's why 45 is our key goal in our angle. If we get into the game and your axe doesn't stick, it doesn't count. 3 things to get our throw consistent are our stance, our elbows, and our grip. When I say dominant hand or dominant foot, you're going to throw with the same arm as leg. It's going to feel weird, it's going to be a bit awkward, but it's kind of like when you're playing darts. You're going to be doing a bit of this motion. The reason being, if you're using opposite arm to leg like when you throw a ball normally, that's happening. Your body's twisting out. We're going to rock our body weight back and forth to give our axe momentum. So all we need to do to get our axe from A to B is to come back, come forward. We only hold our axe with these 2 lovely little fingers. When we grab our axe, we come a finger width from the bottom. We have these 3 fingers here that we don't need for axe throwing at all. To get our throw consistent, we want to come back with our body weight, lift our arm up nice and high, give that elbow some stiffness, get rid of my 3 fingers, give my axe gravity. I'm going to let it dangle. This is my starting point for my throw. We're going to start with our finger width from the bottom, weight over our subject. We're going to come back, lift our arm up nice and high, dangle that axe down. I can lift my front leg off if I want. We're going to come forward and do a big circle with my arm. I'm going to wiggle, raise to the roof. If you have injuries, like myself, I've got vertebrae out in my neck and an exposed nose. Heaps of fun, but I throw with 2. Same idea, finger width from the bottom. This doesn't add any more strength or power to your throw, it adds support, stability, and helps align your axe. Finger width from the bottom, second hand, not your dominant, your second hand, cups around your first. If you interlock your fingers, the axe won't come out. If you go too high, it's going to affect rotation. If you go too low, it's pretty much not needed. You know the bird in The Simpsons that drinks the water? That's axe throwing. That's what we need to do. So I'm going to aim, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to pull. I'll weight over our front leg, finger width from the bottom, and we're aiming. Everyone's going to aim at me. Here we go. After 3, you're going to throw your weapon at the dead thing on the wall. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! One rotation. When it leaves your hand, when it gets to the target, it's one rotation. Because all axe throwing is where you're standing from the target. Did anyone notice their axe is landing flat? This means your axe hasn't had enough time in the air to get to 45 degrees. So would we move closer to the target or further away from the target to give your axe more time? The axe is flat, move back to give it that little bit more time to rotate in the air. Anyone have their axes landing over and bouncing back? This is the opposite. This is your axe landing at the 45. It's still got time, so it's going to keep going and spinning. So if your axes are over, you need to move closer. How are they landing? Where am I standing? When we come back in, have 5 throws, see where the majority of your axe lands. Then make your adjustment if you need to come forward or if you need to come back. When we move the length of your own foot. Once you find your sweet spot and you're kind of getting the idea of adjusting your distance, get some chalk, put a line on the ground and just start working from that position, getting comfortable landing at 44. Once we're in a good spot, we'll then get into the game. Sound cool? Awesome, let's go. Dots up here are called hi-hats. They're the highest point in the game. So we're going to play a little game that's going to take us on a nice journey from the left-hand side of the board all the way across and up to the green dot. On our clipboards, scorecard board things, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and total. For this exercise, we're going to call total 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool? You with me? Great. Target split down the middle, left-hand side, right-hand side. Your first target that you're going to go for is on the left-hand side and it's blue. So, you need to land your axe anywhere on the left-hand side of the blue ring. From the outside of the paint to the outside of the red paint. Anywhere in there. Land your axe in there, then you can progress on to your second target, which is also on the left-hand side, but it's red. So anywhere in this C-shaped area of the red paint. Cool? Third target's the bullseye. Fourth is right side red. 4 is right side red, 5 is right side blue, and then 6 is either one of these green dots. So you are just literally working left to right across the board and then up. You're going to have 3 attempts and then swap out with your scorer so that you guys rotate through the game. This just prevents you throwing like 90,000 throws and the other person's sitting there doing nothing. You want to make it easy for yourself because we're all competing against each other and it's a race. So you want to do it quickly. Hi-hats are a skill shot. They're also further away because they're higher up. So you need to adjust for that and come closer and throw up. You need to let your axe arch and drop down. When you're the scorer, you've got 3 very important jobs. 1, keep score. The second job that your thrower has is to keep your thrower, the scorer has, is to keep your thrower honest. The way we measure is where the majority of the blade is in the wood. The third job of the scorer, get into your opponent's head. If they can't think, they can't throw. Put them off their game as much as you need to. Don't spray anyone with water. Don't throw chalk at anyone. And don't balk anyone. Do you know what balking is?
Balk, balk.
Balk, 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 balk. That's the rules, that's the game. Does it all make sense? 2 prizes up for grabs. If you can get from left blue to the green dot in only 6 throws, without missing anything, it's a 6 shooter, it's awesome, it's great. We'd love to see it happen. I'll give you a chocolate cap to take home. The first one to get to the green dot out of all of you, that leaves your axe in the green dot so we can verify it, that has majority of the blade in the green dot, so we can make sure you actually won, wins a very rare, very limited edition Lumberpunk stubby holder. Ooh, super rare. That's the rules, that's the game. We're ready to play the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah! Alright, go play. 5 rounds on your scorecards. Each thrower gets 5 throws per round. So it's 25 throws to get the highest points that you can. The target now has point value. So the blue ring in is now worth 1 point. The red ring in is worth 3, the bullseye is worth 5, and the hi-hats are worth 7 points. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. Now the hi-hat, because it's the highest point in the game and it's a skill shot, it comes with some rules. The first rule of the hi-hat is you can only go for it on your 5th and final throw of every ring. So you only get 5 attempts at it the whole game. It's an optional shot, you don't have to go for it, but it's there if you want to. When you're scoring, let your thrower know it's their 5th shot so they can decide if they're going to go for points or if they're going to go for glory. The second rule of the hi-hat is that you have to let your scorer know that you're going for it. So call it out loud. Call out hi-hat! Hi-hat! Yeah! The third rule of the hi-hat is if you declare you're going for it, the rest of the target's out of play. So it's green or nothing. If you throw a really great game and get 80 points or more, we'll put you up on the Octarian. If you throw a really great game and get 100 points or more, we'll put you over on the Centurions. That's the rules, that's the game. Any questions, come find us. Play as many games as you can fit in the next 35 minutes. Stacks of time.
Stop.